I said I was going to do a quick video about why I manipulate the slide the way I do, so I wanted to follow through with that and just get it up real quick so you guys can understand what I'm doing. The biggest thing is that there's a lot of things out there, there's a lot of ways to reload, there's a lot of ways to work your slide, there's a lot of different weapons and pistols out there, and there's a lot of good techniques. I'm not saying that this is the best one out there, but there's a reason I do it this way. I've had a chance to try a lot of them out. And the first thing that I wanted to clear up, somebody said that, first of all, check, clear and safe, chamber, source, good. All my mags, I've got 2 dummy rounds, 1 dummy round, clear and clear. You can never double check, triple check enough, no matter what you're doing. So again, the one thing that I want to handle real quick is the guy that said, you know, you're on target, I'm shooting, whether it's, you know, threats or a target, you know, aren't you losing valuable time by not keeping your gun orientated towards the target? And there's a couple of problems I have with that. First of all, and foremost, is that everything that I do, everything with weapons in a threat environment is a combative mindset all the time. I am way stronger here than I am out here, especially with one hand. So if I'm in a combative environment and I'm moving left and right, or I'm in a house, or even on the range, and I go to do something, I'm weaker here. That's the first thing. And everything that I do, I will always add the combative aspect to it because that's the way my brain is always thinking. Besides that, besides being on target, I like to pull my gun in, you know, and keep everything tight. I don't like extending any of my limbs if I don't have to. And I'm tight here, and you also have the technique of being able to pull your gun to you, again, clear and safe. I'm pulling my gun to me, and I'm pushing my thumb forward. That helps me release my magazine. So I'm have this type of motion going on, and I pull everything towards me. I still have essay of everything that's going on in my environment. I can still look over my gun if I have to. It helps me see where the magazine is going. So now I'm pulling it. I got my environment in my sights. Maybe I can move. I can do whatever I have to. Index finger, I'm looking at where the magazine's going. I'm placing, and then I manipulate my slide from there. So that's another big reason. I can see where the magazine's going if I get hung up. I can see the condition of the weapon. I can see if there's any hang-ups. Again, we talk about how we're manipulating the gun, bringing it into tight to our body and working everything here. We can still do a lot of different things. Now let's talk about why I manipulate the slide the way I do. I started off very early in my career manipulating the slide where I would seat the magazine and I would bring my hand with a full grip all the way to the back here and do a push-pull motion. And I tell a lot of people, follow through with it, don't ride the slide home. You have serrations back here, I can get a full grip on this gun, and I almost tell people to hit their shoulders so they don't, especially if they're new, it's a gross motor skill. I want to push, pull, and get back on my gun. That's going to guarantee me that I bottom that slide out all the way to the rear and I do a full cycle so there's no short stroking going on. Again, when we talk about why we're manipulating the slide and bringing it back to us. When I'm loading my magazine, and I will put the ones with the dummy rounds in, when I'm loading my magazine and I slide it in, I tap it. I'm keeping, it's the economy of motion where I'm keeping the gun and I'm bringing the gun to my hand and my hand to the gun. So it all happens here. I seat, I roll the gun over, and I'm grabbing the front of the slide. And some people say, well, isn't it better to lock and do a full cycle with the slide and release it all the way back? I'm doing the same exact thing that if I would grab the rear of the slide. Same exact thing. You can hear that I'm hitting the back of the stopping point of the slide. I do that every single time I grab the slide. It's no different. I grab it, I pull, and I do the same exact thing. I let the gun do its job. I don't ride it home, and I get back on my gun. And I'll run that one more time so you can see. I'm here, I dump the mag in, and when I roll my slide over to my hand and I release, I go forward and my hand's right back on, and then I'm ready to shoot. Hopefully that clears some of the questions up of why I do what I'm doing and why I'm grabbing the slide like that. If I had an option, every single one of my guns, especially my pistols, would have serrations on the front of the slide. I like doing it that way. It's not the only technique out there. It works for me. It's a little bit quicker, and it's not anything that I wouldn't do in combat or not in combat. It works absolutely fine. So again, I'll go full motion for you here. Slide lock to the rear. Gun goes dry. Pull. roll over, and push. Push back out.